Hello fellow fantasy gamers and welcome back to my channel. One more week has passed and we have witnessed the second round of the Italian football elite level for the season 2023-2024. Another round full of unexpected results, and I am sure that with time there will be more and more surprises, so we should be cautious about which players we transfer in or out. Let's take a look at the results from the past weekend. In the early games on Saturday, we saw the first surprise. The newcomers Frosinone defeated one of the teams that are favourites for the top four this season, Atalanta. The goal from Divan Zapata was not enough for the away side, although they are a very attacking team and danger looms from every player on the pitch. In the other game, Monza won at home against Empoli. Colpani scored 2 goals and Monza kept a clean sheet, that is, perfect result for them. In the late games, Milan destroyed Torino by 4-1. Olivier Giroud scored 2 goals and Pulisic scored again, but the best thing was that Hernandez scored. As a defender, that meant 7 points, compensating for not bringing points from clean sheets. In Verona, we witnessed another surprise. Roma lost 2-1. The Giallorossi couldn't solve the puzzle at the Bentegodi Stadium. They are now with 1 point after 2 games. On Sunday, there were another 4 games, and there were some surprises again. In the earlier games, Fiorentina and Juventus lost points in their games against Lecce and Bologna, drawing 2-2 and 1-1, respectively. Alfred Duncan scored goal and made an assist, while Nico Gonzalez continued the good form from the first game. For Juventus, Vlahovic scored 2 goals, but one of them was cancelled for offside. The shocking results didn't stop there. In the late games on Sunday, Lazio lost at home to Genoa. Retegui scored his first goal in Serie A, bringing the 3 points to the red and blue team. In the other match, Napoli didn't concede goals and won 2-0 at home against Sassuolo. Osimhen scored from penalty, Kvicha made an assist, and Di Lorenzo scored. That may have been the perfect game for most of the people in the fantasy football game. There was 2 games left for the Monday eve. In the first one, Salernitana and Udinese ended up in a draw, 1-1. Lazar Samardzic and Dia scored, splitting the points. In the late game, Inter defeated Cagliari away with 2-0 in an easy game. Martinez scored his regular goal and Dumfries added the other one. Inter won again with a clean sheet that makes them the only team without conceded goals after the first 2 games. Taking defenders from this team may be important for your team. Here it is the dream team for round 2. As I said, Duncan did very well in the game of Fiorentina, scoring a total of 16 points, despite the draw against Lecce. Dudar scored a goal and an assist, making 15 points for his fantasy football owners. Colpani scored 2 goals in the 2-0 win of Monza. These are the best midfielders in round 2. In the attack we have Giroud, who scored 2 goals as well, adding another 15 points to his 13 from the first game. But the best player in this round was Di Lorenzo, scoring a goal and keeping clean sheet for both halves, making 17 points. Di Gregorio at the goal did very good, too. He managed to not concede goals and scored 12 points. Now, let's move on to our league. We have a new leader, and that is John Bonino from Australia. He took the pole position from his brother, Adrian, who grabbed the second spot. But Khalil, Mohamed and Chimalbi are close to them, and it will be interesting to see who will score more points in the next round. After 2 match days, my team is 9th, 27 points behind the top manager. Although I collected less points than the first game week, I still had one of the best scoring teams in this round, with 75 points. At the bottom half of the table is interesting as well. All the team are close to each other and for sure the battle has just begun. We can only imagine if Ishola had played in the first round. He scored 98 points this week, but the fact that he had problems for game week 1 doomed him to be at the very bottom in our league. Let's take a look at the team of John Bonino, at the first position. He scored 89 points this week with 17 from Di Lorenzo and 16 from Osimhen. His weakest links were the 2 Juventus players, who scored just 7 points combined. Second is Adrian Bonino, who doesn't have Di Lorenzo in his team, and that showed up in his score for the round. His goalkeeper didn't play, and except for Osimhen, Hernandez and Martinez, the other players performed poorly. Khalil comes third, thanks mostly to his captain for the round, Leo. Baldanzi, Lookman and Christensen brought just 3 points combined. Muhammad's team performed poorly, as well. His attack won him almost 50% of the points. His goalkeeper, unfortunately, didn't play, too. Chimaubi's team did very well. In my opinion, he has a solid squad. Maybe if Atalanta, Roma and Juventus didn't concede goals, he'd had over 100 points. Dibatana comes 6th in the ranking. We have to say that Balcanio used the wildcard joker, but unfortunately scored less points. Haji's players performed below average this week. All 3 strikers scored, bringing 33 points. Unfortunately, he put a war at the bench, and Mario Rui didn't play for Napoli. Barga's team, Lando Norris, scored 77 points and did very well. Most of the players had goal contribution this game week. My team performed good, despite the weak round. I thought it will be catastrophic this week with all of these shocking results, but at the end I am not that far behind. But I definitely have to do something with this defense. In Frederick's team you can see that there is no players from any red club. No Milan, no Roma players. I still cannot understand his tactics with the goalkeepers. If you are here, Frederick, please, explain it. Nika's team scored only 69 points, mostly thanks to Osimhen and the Milan players. In G-Boy's team there were some players who underperformed compared to the first game. He chose his captain to be Osimhen, like most of the people in the world, which brought him 16 points. Umalo Pervi is the other team that used the wildcard joker early on, bringing Osimhen, Belotti and Martinez in the attack, as well as Di Lorenzo at the back. Another interesting team for this week was Mazan's. His goalkeepers didn't play and he chose bad captain. Flora's squad did very well, too. Having 5 players with 10 points is always good in this game. The bad thing about her team is that she has 14 points at the bench. In the 16th position comes Maurizio. What I can say about this team is that you can improve the attack for sure. Soria is next and again scored points below the average for the round. For players scored only 4 points, which doomed the whole squad. Safwan had the same problem and scored the same amount of points. 62 points are just not enough. Nicola didn't change his squad for the second round, and that showed up on the score for the game week. He can improve his attack, too, as well as selling Berardi and using the money more properly. At the last 2 spots in the ranking we can find the team of Ishola, who didn't participate in round 1, and Salim's Milan, who joined the game from the second game week. Ishola's team scored 98 points this round, and one could imagine just how much points he would have had if this squad had played in the first match day. Salim could have done better in choosing his players. Some of them are transferred out and don't play in Italy anymore. In the end, I would like to thank you for participating with me in this journey in the world of fantasy football. I would like to ask you to comment down what you think about this week's games, but most importantly to ask you to subscribe and share my channel to all your friends. That way you are showing me the support I need in order to continue doing this. Take care and God bless.